conceal and transport their illicit substances.
With drugs, you cannot use one particular method. You see, the traffickers will always try to come up with different concealment methods. So, with that being the case, as they come up with concealment methods, we also will be coming up with different strategies that we'll be using to combating their activities.
Therefore, the agency is calling on all stakeholders and the general public to cooperate with them by providing information that could lead to the arrest of suspected drug peddlers.
Call on members of the public to cooperate and to be very, very vigilant, especially those within the border areas, those within our communities, and then also within our localities and the market. Because as we've always said, it has to be a joint effort. NDA cannot be everywhere at every time. We all have our own role to play.
Meanwhile, the suspects will remain in custody pending their appearance before a court of law. Mamadou Diallo, Grts.
As many as 40 men who were at an advanced stage of leaving the Gambia without proper documents in search of greener pasture overseas have had their plans abruptly thwarted by security officials in the North Bank region. As we hear in this report by Louis Mendy, immigration officials at the site urge prospective travelers not to use the back way to immigrate to Europe.
Backway to Europe syndrome is still alive and lingering in the minds of a considerable percentage of the country's youthful population. A proof of that is the recent interception of 40 young men at Kir Ayub immigration checkpoint in the North Bank region. The young men between the ages of 19 and 38 were said to be on board a passenger bus heading to Bamako, the capital of Mali, where they were supposed to reach Europe via Libya. The immigration spokespersons explained how his men were able to establish the intended route of the Mali-Europe-bound men.
On the 19th of September 2012, our officers at the North Bank region apprehended 40 Gambians based on the fact that they have the intention to travel to African countries. From there, they will finally arrive to European countries. This issue happened on Wednesday in the evening. Our officers happened to get these people at the Kir Ayub border post. That is the border between Gambia and Senegal in the North Bank region.
Statistics revealed by the Immigration Department confirm that 7 of these suspects are from West Coast region, 8 from North Bank, 14 from Lower River region, 10 from CRR, and 1 from the Upper River region. Modu Jaju, a welder by trade and a native of Jonye in Fonyi Kansala, said this is his second attempt to illegally enter Angola. The father of 3 spent over $8,000 on fair saloon. Modu, who was financially supported by an uncle of his in Lebanon, told me how grateful he was, saying he wants to settle down once more with his family and concentrate on welding, provided that he gets enough capital, estimated at $50,000 to purchase welding tools. Asked what plans the Gambia government has for these young men, the immigration image maker said government is already doing its quota to ensure that the youth become productive and self-reliant.
The government of the Gambia have numerous plans for them because we have been seeing, the government has said the youth service scheme, and the youth service scheme purely is training the young ones so that they can excel in different professional fields so that they'll be able to earn good money so that they will sustain their families.
But with many other young people dreaming of entering what they see as the promised land, where fast money can be made despite inherent perils, what advice is there for the parents who usually shoulder the financial burden of such trips?
If you look at most of these people also, their families, their friends, their relatives gave them the money to go on this illegal journey. And I think definitely I'm appealing to all our religious leaders in this country to put on their normal preaches they normally do to sensitize the people, because definitely people should not kill themselves. Because if you look at this illegal journey, nobody can give you that right whether at the end of the day you will not die or not. So due to religious purposes, we should advise our people also to desist from such things. If you want to travel, travel genuinely and tell your people to facilitate, because they are already, some of them are already in Europe. So let them facilitate genuinely, and so that you can travel genuinely.
The young men awaiting bail at the time of this interview are aiding immigration officers in their investigations.
An international humanitarian organization that specializes on treating heart patients for children under age 17 is expected to deploy a team of surgeons from France to conduct a 3-day consultation in the Gambia. If all goes as scheduled, Marchand Chergui Kadi Enfant du Monde will perform operations on registered children with heart diseases at the new Serekunda Hospital in Kanifing Estate. Ibrahim Balde picks up the rest of that story.
The Serekunda Hospital has already been identified as the site where at least 25 Gambian children with heart diseases are likely going to be operated. It is all part of a mandate of an international humanitarian organization based in France. From 1996 to date, the NGO has been conducting surgery on many children in the Gambia. As a beneficiary of an overseas treatment program extended to patients in the country, Public Relations Officer Aliu Baji, who some years back sustained some serious injuries from a car accident, commented on the latest treatment, which, if all goes as scheduled, would be extended to babies and 17-year-old children.
Definitely, patients will benefit according to the memo, because like when they come proper by the 26th, they will start screening these patients and then know actually what type of heart condition or heart problem they are suffering from. And then from there, if need be, they can suggest or do a prompt heart surgery for them.
The national broadcaster has extensively covered the giant strides recorded in the health sector and infrastructure. The likes of Momodu Fakuru Silla, a civil servant and also a member of the Rotary Club, would like to see a collaborative effort in the health sector.
I think it's a very generous offer that they are giving humanity. The organization is called Mécénat Chirurgie Cardiaque Enfant du Monde, and I happen to be their local contact person here in the Gambia. I don't have any medical background, I just got to know them. And when I see cases of heart disease with children published in the papers, I contact the family. And some people learn of my availability for this service. Also, they contact me.
When the surgeons descend on the hospital next week, Aliu Baji said it would go a long way towards helping children living with heart conditions.
Many of these ill health conditions are emanating, which then we don't have in the Gambia, more so in Africa. But one thing to be more certain is people's lifestyle in terms of eating. That is very important, because sometimes there are foods that we don't used to eat, and then most of the time we eat them and then we don't change our diet. We stick onto the Western food. Most of the time it really have more health effects on people's health. So we have to know actually the type of foods that we eat, or even we are buying food, we should know their ingredients.
As it reflects on the forthcoming treatment, Fakuru Silla expressed confidence that children with heart diseases should hope for the best.
It's because of these two people that they are coming. But they want to use the trip to also connect with authorities and other charitable organizations to help the Gambian child. Because for them, they have decided that they would take care of the medical costs and the tickets of their escorts, 2 trips to a particular country that they have a case in. But they require the family to do their own ticket, and we know that the average Gambian family cannot afford it. Okay, from the recent information I had, it cost 12,000 euro to do such operations in France. But the French embassy requires 30,000 euro financial guarantee for anybody going for the treatment in France. That is not easy for the average Gambian to come by. All right, so that's why we need to organize. And in the effort, I'm trying to involve my club, the Rotary Club of Banjul, to help raise funds in case there are cases that the family cannot help. So we can help maybe by raising funds. But they told me that what they want my club to do, Rotary Club of Banjul, to do, is to help them also identify who really deserves the help. Because some people may have the problem, but they can afford to help themselves. So the help is for those who don't have. And they sitting there don't know who deserves it, who is really poor.
A classic example of the efficacy of the treatment program